Yes!
Balsef had it in him to care about someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
What?
Ganabelt was so horrible to people, yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in... my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Rena.
It seems like Ganabelt also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Danans?
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Indeed, the effects of Lenegis' transformation appear to be less pronounced here. Or, viewed another way, this area was simply luckier.
Pardon me.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
ridiculous. Okay.
Seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganath Haros changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary. Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces, and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Rena, so to speak.
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you. Because we're threats to Rena.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we thought.
So, Alphen, have you gained anything from all of this?
Yeah. I think it's made me realize that the Lords were all people, too. Balsif and the others, they all had their own circumstances to deal with as they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
I know. What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute that. But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either. They were individuals, just like the rest of us. So I guess what I'm trying to say is...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters. Even if they did terrible things, they were still just people.
Renwell.
Am I wrong?
Not at all.
Being a Danan doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan doesn't make you a bad one. I think that's something we've all seen.
Xion and Dohalim definitely make a good case for it.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust. As a fellow human being above all else.
There's something I just don't get.
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfricht Milgras, the former lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfricht whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegis?
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegis from the motherland, sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, It's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renin by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Core existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
Doe?
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was—
But why are you here? Wait, don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dana already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still—
Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Danon rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
This is beautiful!
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renin sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnagan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnagan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnagan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagan and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagan had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnagan was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less, she would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty, instead I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Danans there would still be suffering under Renin oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right. Alphen.
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
Did we really just spend that much money?
This is perfect! I'll have everybody's mouths watering when they see this! Damn it! Lenegis soldiers!
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight.
Oh! I am Lord Dohalim of Elden Menencia. I command you.
The rest of the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they've got one.
I'll smash you!
Fire's attaching!
An astral arc?
That's my cue! I'll bring you down!
Shut him down!
Denied!
my guess. No further.
Again! Now!
These fists have got your name on them!
Help this!
Burn! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclo! You're open! And again!
Go away!
You're mine!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Here I go! One more!
Blow away!
Bowtie flash!
It's go time! I'll smash you!
Into the shadow!
If
It's in the sky! Kisara! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
Double Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang! This one's mine!
Fire's attacking! These ones can run rings around us! Where are you going?
Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang! Destruction!
Take this! Far enough! It's time! Dragon Shield! In a bind?
Double Demon Fang!
I'm on it! Damn it!
Fire!
Too fast!
Stand
Double
back!
Demon Fang!
I'll zip it up!
Now!
Dohalim! In an instant!
Impact Claw!
Fall into there! Oh, that wasn't weak! I owe you!
Smash you!
Go! I'll heal you all!
It's
Fall
on!
into thy
Double Demon Fang!
Concentration!
Burn!
Take it!
It's time!
I'm only...
Take this!
Fall into Redwell! Astral energy! Full throttle!
I know fine weapon material when I see it.
No escape! Blow away! Crush!
Will this help?
Time to cross blade! Swordling Alpha!
Eat dirt!
Blow away! Eternal devastation!
Eat this!
Demon Fang!
Eat this!
Annihilation! Will this help?
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Annihilation!
You're mine!
Well, lost my focus!
Now or never.
Ignite!
Ready and ready! I can carve through armor!
Will this help?
Double Demon Fang! Crush!
Healing
Eternal
Fire!
devastation! Double Demon Fang!
Back into
Rising
the
Wyvern!
Into the shadows!
Rising Phoenix!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks,
No
Kisara!
further! Eat this!
Sonic Thrust! Try this!
Lightning conductor!
Rising Coming through! Ha! Melt! Scarlet Inferno!
Glacier! Crush all!
It was
Hey, Dragon! Go get him!
Eagle Fly!
I'm the
Demon Fang!
Heavy Gifting!
Demon Fang!
I'm ready! Far enough!
Double Deep! You picked the wrong fight!
I'll heal you all! Healing!
Demon Fang!
Wings of heaven! Healing!
Demon
Where are
Fang!
you
going. Shouldn't have messed with me.
Double demon
I
fang!
need to pull myself together. Eagle dive!
Can't be
Sonic
not
thrust!
in your dreams!
Swallow blade! Double demon fang!
Raging storm!
Super swallow blade!
Flight!
The earth throbs in pain.
Celestial hammer!
Will this help?
Time to let it rip! Rising Viper! This one's all mine!
Healing circle!
Ignite!
Can't be Celestial hammer!
Flash!
Thunder Trident! My
Demon
armor!
fang! Double demon
Out of
fang!
ammo!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
I'm all stuck up! Annihilation!
Demon fang!
Think again! Pathetic!
Nothing gets by me.
Finish it!
Dohalim! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes.
Remember to tell me if you need healing.
I expect you'll be in high demand if that's the case.
Right, here goes! For my lord!
Engage.
Piece it in!
Here I come!
I can carve through armor.
I'm ready!
Eat dirt!
No shield can stand up to these fists.
I'll kill you all!
I'll bring you down.
Curse of Horror!
Burn down.
Purge Malevolence!
Bird!
Annihilation!
Eagle dive.
And again!
You picked the wrong
Now
fight!
it's over!
Mission.
Annihilation! You're over!
Missing Rider!
You're super in here! More for the stockpile!
Denied.
Eat dirt!
Annihilation! Not on my watch! Take it!
You're mine! We're not
Keep
finished!
frozen!
Hammer.
Fall into
I'm
my
on it.
own destiny!
Anything in armor is all mine.
Double demon fang!
I need to be stronger.
You backing down.
You got spirit!
I'll smash you.
I owe you.
That'll bring you down. Eat this.
They really don't give up, do they?
Double demon fang!
Glacier! Crush all! Torches this blade!
Toxicity.
Fire has passion!
Rising Viper! Hurricane damage!
Nothing gets by me. Denied.
Dohalim! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes.
You're open! Annihilation!
What's this?
Not today!
Got you. Eat this.
Who wants to fall into thy own
I'll crush you. Lightning reflexes. Tenebrous claw.
They've really got us on the ropes.
Don't forget to heal your wounds. Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Is someone making them stand guard over the Forbidden Zone?
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out.
If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Annihilation! Raging storm!
As if the normal creepy crawlies aren't disgusting enough.
That'll bring you down. Eagle
Not
fire!
today!
Will this help? Storm!
I owe you one!
Healing circle!
Wind! Devastation!
Need to pull myself together.
Wind!
Eagle fire! I can handle it!
Dance in the wind!
Here I go!
Toxicity!
Time to fire! Go! Anything you want!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Annihilation! There! Go!
Eat dirt!
I'll heal you all!
Swallow blade!
Fall into thine own
Swordwind Alpha!
Now you see what I can do!
I owe you.
Got
Double Demon Fang!
Annihilation!
Take this!
Big blast!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
These fists have got your name on them! Eat this!
Not today!
Together. Annihilation! A whirling strike.
Eagle's eye! Now I'm in the groove!
Blade!
That'll bring you down.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
First strike!
Reload!
Any more of this and I'll burn out!
Pathetic.
Swallow Blade!
Annihilation! In here!
Take this!
I'll be
Demon
this
Fang!
one!
Double Demon Fang!
Lightning! Raging storm! It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire!
Armor won't save you!
Lightning!
through!
I'm out of ammo!
Eat this!
Think again! Pathetic!
Take this!
Take this!
A wailing healing of lightning!
Raining Slash! Eternal Demon!
Think again! Pathetic!
Double Demon Fang!
Flame! Lightning!
Finish it!
Very well! Astral energy! Full throttle!
This should make for some good weapon crafting material.
We seem to have come
I have a bad feeling about this.
I can't heal you forever!
No further!
Lightning! Fire's passion! It's like trying to keep up with a wall! I'm out of ammo! I'm only getting...
Rising Phoenix!
Fire's passion! I never miss!
Double Demon Fang!
These fists have got your
ensnaring to
name on
me.
them! Yeah! And the pummeling to
dirt.
me! Shattering
Healing circle!
pieces! Attack time!
Rising
Denied.
Leopard! You're mine!
Annihilation!
Rising Phoenix!
Dreams! Searing flame!
Rising Leopard!
throbs in pain.
Double Demon Fang!
In a bind?
Demon Fang!
I'm all stopped up! Lightning! Raging
Demon Fang!
Sleep now! Will this help? More for the stockpile!
Eat dirt!
Will this help?
Can't move!
Don't give up! Thunder field! Dance in the wind!
I'm on it!
Field!
Really owe you
I'll
one.
be Zephyr Trident! Lightning! No more playing nice! Lightning! More where that came from! Searing flame! It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! Raging storm!
Nothing gets by me!
Razor
Denied!
Celestial
Armor won't save you!
Razor Cyclone! A chain between heaven and earth! Downfall! Here goes!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss!
Resuscitation! Arctic waterfall! Freeland, think again! Dance in the wind!
Rising
Think again!
Leopard!
You're open! Lightning! Downfall! Damn it! Out of ammo! Lightning! Weak astral energy! Celestial!
No further!
Sweet dreams!
Dragon
Not in your
Swarm!
dreams! Lightning! Downfall! This is it now!
Turbine Alpha!
Illuminate
If it's
the
in the
dark!
sky, it's mine!
Holy glimmer! Holy lantern! A chain between heaven and
Demon
earth!
Fang! Double Demon
A
Ignite!
whirling banshee of lightning!
Super Swallow Dance!
Lightning! Now! With this, I can become even stronger!
choice! Engaging! I'll smash you! Sword Blade Alpha!
Far enough!
Dragon down!
Lightning! If you won't bow out night, then you leave me no choice!
Bring him down!
You require a hand.
You're mine!
Damn it!
Can't get out of this! The enemy wields arts too.
We'll soon see about that!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Fire
Here I come! The flame inside me!
Watch it! This one's mine! That'll bring you down!
Rising Wyvern! Shockwave Flash!
Here I go! Confiscated! Lightning! Fall into my own death! Concentration! Lightning! Downfall! Lightning! Fall into my own death! Concentration!
I'm nearly done for you.
I'm ready! Can't be enough!
Double Demon Power!
I'll bring you down! Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Pathetic! One more! Lost! Demons descend!
Flashing Fang!
Seems about right to me.
Take this! Not today!
Armor won't save you!
Lightning!
You think that shield will save you?
No further!
Sonic Boom! Eat dirt! That'll bring you down!
Rising Phoenix!
I'm out of ammo! Now! Here goes!
We're not finished!
Not on my watch! Annihilation!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Very well! Astral energy! Full throttle! Fall into thy own death!
Attack time! Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
Nothing gets by
Fall
me!
into thine own death! Fall into thine own death! Concentration!
It's on!
You're mine!
Ignite!
Lightning! Damn it! Out of ammo!
Take this!
Annihilation! I'm only getting started!
Dohalim! In an instant! Impact Block! I can feel my power growing!
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Danon. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Danon astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegis. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, If it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Faria, how did you get in here?
Wait, something about her isn't right.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power when—
We can talk later. Here it comes!
What? I've never known Faria to control noodles like that before.
How about with a stone that looks suspiciously like a master core?
What the? Where did she get her hands on that?
First we handle the Zugals, then we get some answers. Aim for the weak spot.
Zephyr Trident!
I can carve through!
I'm just getting started!
Swallow Blade! Soaring Alpha!
Eagle
Flying Splash!
Downfall! Magic Gazam! Lightning! Maelstrom! Downfall! Dragon
Swallow Blade!
Arc Seal!
Double Demon Fang!
I will
Eat dirt!
Darkness!
I'm on
Healing
it.
Circle!
I'll finish you here and now! Eagle Fly!
Downfall! I'm all sucked up!
I owe you.
Super Swallow!
Here I am!
That's
Dragon Fang! Double Demon Fang! Crush! I'm on it! Eternal Devastation!
Anything in armor is
Double
all
Demon
mine.
Fang!
Damn it! Out of ammo!
Destruction!
Back into
I'm
the
on it.
fray! Powered Hurricane! Downfall!
Eagle Fly! Not today!
Storm! Downfall!
Come on, roll,
Out of
man!
ammo!
Dragon Roar! Again! Eternal Devastation! Destruction! Eternal Devastation!
Raging Cascade! In here!
Eat this!
Healing Circle! This one!
Eagle Hook!
This fist
has got your name on
I'm all stuffed
I owe
up!
you
Too
one.
much to handle!
Double Demon Fang!
Let heaven and earth! Downfall!
Now, go and freely!
Take it down! I'm out of ammo!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Annihilation!
It was nice while not today!
Eat that!
Sonic
I'll
thrust!
heal you
Try
all
this!
now!
Armor won't save you!
I'll be saving this one!
Swallow Blade!
You're all
Finish
set!
it!
Lost! Get toasty!
Burn Strike!
Will this help?
I'm on a roll now!
Healing Circle! Where that came from!
Bring you down!
Stay! Lightning
Here I am!
Thunderblade! I'm only
Here
getting...
comes something big!
Try to dodge! Seal! Lightning! Downfall! Sparkling stars of light!
Now you see what I can do!
Back into the fray!
Flame inside me, yearns
Goodbye.
to be let free!
Overwhelming struggle!
Rising
Into
water!
heaven! First force!
Rising phoenix!
In here!
Denied!
Double
I'll heal you all!
Double demon fang! I have no limits! Demon fang! Double demon fang! It's on!
Just what I needed!
Demon fang! Here I come! We got him on the run!
Don't get cocky!
I'll burn it all! Flaming pillar! Fire! This one's mine! It's gonna attack!
I'll smash you!
Demon fang!
Think again! Now! I never miss!
Here I come!
In a bind?
I'm not done!
Crumble! Think again! You're open! Free Lancer! Dance in the wind! Not in your dreams!
No! Can't end here!
Don't give up! I can handle it!
Denied!
Holy Land!
Not done
Heaven
yet!
and earth!
Charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it.
Wait now! Eagle Fire! Stop time! Dance in the wind!
Save you!
It's weakened! Dohalim!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
Now it's just her! Faria! Can you hear me? Faria!
She's preparing another summoning!
The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more. Dohalim!
Forgive me. Man, I thought we were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
Shion, please. Can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here. Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case...
I'll take her off your hands.
You?
Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out. I overheard what you said about Tarnigan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is, I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones, if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzelik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almadria. As for Tarnigan, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people as expendable.
Indeed. Ridding society of this blight is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim. I know it hurts to hear, but those people are dead. No amount of soul-searching or trying to make amends is going to change that. Forgiveness, acceptance, those ships have sailed.
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, the opposite, in fact. You remember. You never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living. Not for those already past, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference in the lives of others. Lives being the operative word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Only fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You have to live for tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that, you need to live for yourself, and for the change that you still can be.
I shall try.
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve. The Forbidden Zone, remember?
Shion.
Huh?
Thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for what you did for Faria.
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
Oh, shucks. We're on the same team, right? Let's move on.
Do you think Faria was really being controlled by someone?
Certainly seemed that way. The question is, who? The Red Woman?
The same person who's behind all of this, I'll bet. Whoever that is.
Brainwashed or otherwise, the feelings of resentment she holds towards me are real.
Someone used her because they knew we'd hold back. If that's not playing dirty, I don't know what is.
It does tell us one thing at least. Someone here in Lenegis is watching us. Someone who means us harm.
There's no question. That attack was meant for us alone.
By someone capable of getting inside a person and manipulating them like a weapon. We need to find whoever it is, fast.